Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Boxing. I'm Leti.
I'm LB.
And let's talk about one of the fights that I thought was going to be the fight for me of the night.
Man, me too. I thought it was going to be a good one too.
So we had Edwin De Los Santos representing República Dominicana.
AKA La Granada.
Versus Joseph Adorno out of Pennsylvania representing Puerto Rico.
AKA Blessed Hands.
Yes. So I'm going to start off. This was one of the fights that I was actually really excited to watch on the undercard. Especially because of the press conference and seeing kind of like Adorno he was just really looking forward to getting in the ring with De Los Santos and fighting him. Yeah. I thought it was going to be an action-packed fight. And I just thought I was going to see more from this fight. Yeah. And we didn't. Well, at least I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just like you. You know, I was definitely looking forward to this fight too. And I thought we were going to get more just because, you know, we've seen Adorno in there with some good names and have performed well. Most recently, we've seen him in there with Elvis Rodriguez. And that was a good, entertaining fight. Before that, you know, we seen him in there against Michelle Rivera, and before that, he even has a draw against Jermaine Ortiz, where we dropped him and hurt him. So, you know, I was definitely looking forward to it just based on, you know, how he performed in those fights. But yeah, that was not the case. It ended up being, you know, a one-sided fight.
Yeah, I mean, going into the fight, I thought that De Los Santos was going to take the win on this fight, and he did. It did go the full distance. But I thought Adorno, like you said, was going to come with a little bit more. Especially since he was saying, like, this fight is do or die. Because if I don't, you know, win, I got to start from the bottom, like, pretty much. So I thought it was, you know, some...
Yeah, and
pop off.
Yeah, and especially this being at his division. I mean, even when when he was fighting, you know, his last fight, that was at 140, and he was saying, you know, my main division is at 135, you know, but people won't fight me there. So he definitely was coming in. You know, I think that helped him with his confidence, especially you know, being in there with Elvis, who was a puncher. Yeah. You know, at 140, you know, he definitely was feeling confident.
Yeah, and I mean, in this fight, I feel like De Los Santos came in and he was putting the pressure on him. Adorno didn't really let go of his hands at all. Yeah. And you could even see, like, in his corner, like, they had asked him something, and he was like, oh, does he, like, oh, he hits hard. Yeah. So even if he's being punched, like you mentioned, at the 140, coming down to 135 and saying that his opponent is punching hard, that means De Los Santos got something. Yep. And we see what De Los Santos could do. Yep. And then at one point, Adorno kind of switched up his game, and he started kind of trying to walk De Los Santos down, and De Los Santos was just kind of showing that he's got some boxing abilities also, because he started to box a little bit more. So, I mean, he was getting Adorno with pressuring him, with boxing him. He was just getting him in.
Yeah, and you mentioned the corner. Yeah, he was confused because at first he was like, exactly like you said, you know, oh, you know, he's punching hard. And then another conversation, he goes, yeah, you know, I want to get to my boxing, but he goes, it's hard because he's boxing me too. And so, and I really enjoyed this performance from De Los Santos. This, you know, he showed that, you know, I feel like he showed more skills in this one. He showed more of a boxer puncher versus, you know, in his previous fight, you know, they were just coming in. Him and Arroyo were just
because probably his opponent also that shit was crazy.
Yeah, but, you know, he was really doing a good job in, you know, setting up that left hand. You know, he was doubling up that jab. He was, you know, popping the jab, you know, stopping them from coming in. And he also was countering beautifully too with the left hand. You know, he was definitely more patient and just more defensively sound. He didn't get caught how he normally did, and I think that was what Adorno was kind of banking on. You know, him being able to land his shots because Adorno was known to have power too. But yeah, De Los Santos came out here and he probably beat Adorno better than we've seen Adorno get beat in his previous fight.
Yeah, well, I kind of, you know,
it was definitely a statement for me.
Yeah, I feel like De Los Santos did not lose one round in that fight.
Nope.
And like we said, I feel like Adorno was just trying to figure him out, and he just couldn't. But
he showed some. You know what? You know, De Los Santos showed some good footwork too. He showed some good footwork. You know, he threw in some pivots in there. I was like, okay. I was like, I see you, and you know, I was looking forward to it because, and he even told Shakur, he goes, hey, check out my fight. I'm gonna show you something. And I was like, okay.
And he's really young still awesome.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, that's the other thing. He only 23.
Yeah.
I didn't think. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think he was 23.
Yeah, he's in. I was like, what? Okay, you know, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you think is? Who do you think is up next for him?
I mean, who do I think is up next? Okay, let me start here.
Or do you think anyone tries to avoid him?
Well, I mean, he definitely showed a different side of him, which makes him look like a more difficult fight because we already knew he could punch, but now he's showing that he could box too, and he got good footwork. He's definitely going to be a difficult fight for anybody. He's definitely going to be a difficult fight. You know, it was funny though because I already kind of mentioned Shakur Stevenson. I've already kind of mentioned Shakur Stevenson, and even Shakur was like, "Oh, you keep talking, we're gonna end up fighting." And De Los Santos just kept tweeting his name, Shakur.
Trying to start something already.
Yeah,
to build it up.
And even during the fight, Keyshawn was like, "Oh, I got something for De Los Santos or something."
Hey.
And you know, they close in age. Actually, De Los Santos is a year younger. Keyshawn is 24. So hey, that's a good matchup too. But I'll kind of. Do you have a matchup? I got some other, but I'm gonna let you.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like at some point him and Rayo got to get that rematch in. Okay. I don't know if Rayo's gonna want that just yet.
I don't see that happening soon.
I mean, I just gotta see that rematch. But at 135, man, there's so many. I mean. You got that Keyshawn one. I mean, I wouldn't mind that because Keyshawn he can punch and he can box his little ass off also. But I don't think that I have one specifically for him. I
just mentioned those two, the Shakur and the Keyshawn, because they're the ones who have actually like kind of talked back with him and they mentioned him. But I mean, if we're being realistic, you know, that is on the other side of the street.
I mean, I'm thinking there's also Pitbull Cruz in the 135 division. But I just don't think that Pitbull, for some reason, I just feel like he won't take that fight. I feel like he's looking bigger.
Yeah, you want to know why? You want to know why? Because this whole time he's been waiting around for Tank. The fans
Tank all the time.
And let's talk about it because the fans have been calling for that guy to fight so many different fights. We even thought we were going to get him and Ryan Garcia at one point. And, you know, we wanted to see that Shakur fight. And there's just been so many different fight opportunities that fans wanted to see him. And he has literally been sitting around waiting for Tank.
Yeah. Does he have a fight lined up?
It's not even, yeah, he does. He's fighting, I think his name is Giovanni Cabrera. That's who he's scheduled to fight next.
I thought he had
but yeah, that was, you know, all these fights that we've been made, that's why you say that, because he hasn't taken in these fights.
Exactly.
And he seems like he's just waiting around for that Tank fight. And I'm not even looking forward to that Tank fight.
Do you think it's gonna? I mean, that's another one, but talking about it's gonna happen in December or something.
But yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's the only other one I can think of at 135.
Okay, so Cruz. Yeah, that was one I had. But this other one that I had, I want to see him and Frank Martin too.
Oh.
I want to see him in there with Frank Martin.
The Ghost?
And you know, I think that would be a good fight. And I say that because we did see Frank Martin, you know, just dominate, I think, his stablemate and his friend in Michel Rivera. And we know that Michel Rivera and De Los Santos, they work out together. And they both on the same side of the street. It's southpaw on southpaw. Both of them can punch. You know, they both can box. I would love to see that matchup. Both are explosive. I would love to see that matchup.
That would be a good
So those are the two the realistic ones that I would like to see. Pitbull or Frank Martin.
Yeah, I mean, either one of those would be good.
Yeah.
Always excited to see De Los Santos. I'm gonna see what else he gonna pull out his sleeve on the next fight.
Yeah, and to kind of circle back to that Pitbull. Prior when Rayo fought De Los Santos, it was being talked about that if Rayo got that win, they were gonna match. They were thinking about matching him up with Pitbull and Rayo. So hey, De Los Santos won that fight against Rayo. He just got another impressive win.
But do you even think he would have fought Rayo if Rayo would have won that fight?
Who knows?
That's what I say. I don't know. I just been hearing a lot of people saying, "Man, we sent Cruz an offer and he denied it."
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Him, but yeah.
But yeah, you know, the 135-pound division is always one of our favorite divisions.
It's loaded.
It's loaded. You know, when people move up, new ones come in. So, you know, we're excited to see, you know, what's next for De Los Santos. It was a great performance for him. He showed us, you know, some different tools he had in the tool belt. Can't wait to see him next and who he gets matched up with next.
Yep.
But that's all we got. Let us know below what you guys thought of the fight or who you guys want to see him fight next. But that's all we got. So thanks for tuning in, y'all.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Or talk your shit. And we out.